yours, sir?
Yeah, you know how we're getting, like, we've got Mourinho, we've got Wenger, we've got Ferguson, all very often appear to be having little spats at one another in the press.
Yeah.
Now, next year, due to the promotion system, we have another one that's likely to get involved, and Mr. Neil Warnock.
Oh, yeah, Sheffield
There's
United.
no danger. The Sheffield United manager will have something to say when he comes across those people, and goes back to a little situation I had with Neil a few years ago. Originally, I was manager of Sheffield-Wednesday. He was at Notts County, and we played at Hillsborough, and we had a bit of a fracas, shall we say. I mean, because he does antagonise people, and I'm normally very mild-mannered, as you well know. And I told him to get back in his dugout, so I'd throw him back in there. And that was the start of it all, anyway. That started it. Anyway, I leave the club and I go to Aston Villa. Now, how does my assistant manager, Andy Gray, who, when you see Andy Gray on television giving it all up, you know, everybody should be cool. He was the wildest assistant manager you've ever known. We'd be playing people like Man United. He wanted to fight Fergie. We'd be playing Arsenal. He wanted to get George Graham by the throat. And all that during the game, like, you know. So we're now going to play Notts County. Prior to the game, I said to Andy, I said, look, I've got to tell you, Andy, the manager we're playing against today, Neil Warnock, is a nutter. You've got to be careful, because knowing you'll finish up having a right to do with him. And I said, if you get put in front of the FA, I'm not going to defend you. So you know where you are before we start. He said, OK, boss, no problem. So we start the game, and I'm sat up in the stand. He's in the dugout down there. And the game's going on, and it's a cold day, freezing cold day, and it's an awful game. We're playing useless, they're playing terrible. So I pick up the phone to ring the bench to tell the two lads to go on the wing. The phone doesn't work. I turn around to the secretary, have a go at him. He blames the GPO. I'm blaming the wingers. So in the end, I lose me. So I step out. I come down, walk down. It's quite a long way. It's quite a long way to get to the bench at Villa Park. So I get there eventually anyway. And we score just to get there. Big Cyril Regis scores for us. I think, well, that's great. I've done it. I've worked the oracle. So we sit there for a little bit. Then one of their players comes and bashes into Regis, which is like, it's like being a kamikaze pilot, really, because Big Cyril was a monster, wasn't he? Like,
strong, yeah.
Knocks him down. So Warnock goes on the pitch now, and he starts demonstrating and remonstrating and saying, get him sent off, get it. And I've gone, I don't believe this. And I've still got my notes rolled up. So I've gone on behind him, started whacking him round the head. Like, I said, hey, you get back in your dugout, because I tell you what, get back there, like, you know. And as I've come back, I'll probably have to stand up to do this. As I get back, and I'm giving all the crowds behind me, we're playing at home, like, and if I go on, Ron, get him, like, and I've gone, hey, and I'll tell you something else. And I'm booted and suited, cold day, and I have stood in a bucket of ice cold water. And I'm stood there, nobody's seen it apart from Andy Gray. And Andy Gray turns around to me, he goes to say something, I say, you say one word and I'll sack you.